Hi, this is Adam Stein with 5 Minutes of Torah from a BI Rabbi. As you can see, I'm near the Olympic rings, and as those of you in the BC Vancouver area know from 2010, this is where the Olympics were. And I'm told the road used to not be quite as good as it is now before the Olympics. I've been out here for a few days, spending some time really working on a High Holy Day sermon that I'm preparing for Rosh Hashanah, and having a great time connecting with some of our new Jewish families who live in Whistler, who've been connecting to and joining BI. So that's been a great experience for me, connecting with them and having some time to think about a topic I'm working on, and hopefully you'll hear me speak about it on Rosh Hashanah. But another thing I came across in the past few days a couple times was a remembrance of AB Yehoshua, AB Yehoshua, famous Israeli author who passed away just about a year ago. Some people were writing about him on the anniversary of his death, his first yahrzeit now. Avraham Gabriel Yehoshua, you'd think it's maybe AG Yehoshua or Aleph Gimel Yehoshua. The AB came from a childhood nickname I read. And actually, unlike so many of the famous Israeli cultural icons, Amos Oz and others, Aleph Yehoshua was not Ashkenazi. He was from a Sephardic background. His mother was from Morocco. His father had come from a long line of Jerusalem residents for many generations. And he was a secular Jew himself. But interestingly enough, on Kol Nidre, he would walk to a Sephardic synagogue near his home and listen to some of the melodies from his childhood. On Yom Kippur, he would go with his wife to a Reform synagogue in Haifa and sit with her. But here was someone who, in his books, exploring themes of his Israeli and Jewish identity and age and family and relationships and Israeli and Palestinian issues, he also engaged with these issues in his lifetime, not being afraid to get out there and speak and talk and push our boundaries a little bit, maybe make us a little uncomfortable, and think about who we were in this world, in the broader Jewish world, and our relationships with Arabs and Palestinians. Who's one of the founders, I think with Amos Oz, actually, of Peace Now in Israel. Someone who really towed the line a bit and made us think. In this week's Torah portion, I think two people really do that. Korach, who is seen, it's the name of the portion, and seen as really the antagonist and painted as quite evil by our tradition. He steps up, and he's one of Moses' cousins, and he says, "Why do you and Aaron get to be the leaders all the time? And why isn't everyone holy? Don't we all get to talk with God?" And Moses toes the line too. He doesn't say, "Okay, let me check with God," right away. He speaks back to Korach right away, and he says, "You know what, Korach, all you guys, there are a bunch of people involved in this rebellion." He says, "You've gone too far. That's enough. Tomorrow, we're gonna have a duel. We're gonna have a Western film duel, not with guns, but there's a special ritual they do with their staffs, and later on, after the duel, the earth opens up and swallows Korach and all of his rebellious followers. So it doesn't turn out so well for Korach. But Moses says, we're going to determine who is the Kadosh one, who's the Holy One, and who is not. Moses says, I need to step up and challenge you like you challenged me. And AB Yehoshua, throughout his life and his career, he was challenging us too to think, not in the evil and rebellious way that Korach was, but in a real thoughtful way. His books make us think so much about our relationships to those who are around us, who are the same as us, and more importantly, those who are different than us. Let us hope that as I keep looking at these Olympic rings that are behind me, I don't know if AB Yehoshua watched the Olympics or any other sports, but certainly we have there an example of people interacting with those different than them, but also coming together to share and to develop relationship. Hope to see you all soon at Shabbat throughout this week and the summer.